Hello and welcome to my ClassDojo page. I figured it would be easier to show you all the features by making a video. So I'm just going to kind of take you through some of the different tools and how I've set up my own ClassDojo page for a mock first grade classroom. So I'm going to click on my classroom. It's going to be titled Miss Greenwood's Fantastic First Graders. And right here you can see my whole class of students with varying points. So I'll just take you through everything that this site can do. So the first thing and one of my favorite features is the attendance. So if you click on attendance, right here it shows that Lydia today is absent. So maybe she's here today, so I'll say she's here, and maybe Marin will be absent. So I'll save attendance. Now also I can go in and view the reports and see attendance right over here, and it shows me who was absent on those certain days. So last week I didn't do attendance, so it didn't show, but you'd be able to see for all the upcoming weeks. It's a great way to self-check yourself, or even make it a little easier to make things electronic. So once you're done with attendance, you can look through and you see all of the different avatars, so to say, for the students. So this is a great way to give students different points for either doing positive things or negative things within the classroom. So here are some positive attributes that I would like to see in my classroom. Attendance, I would give a child a point for coming to school. 2 points for completing a task before the timer, helping others, being on task, maybe completing a reading log, participating in class. These are things that you would see in a typical classroom. Now if I scroll over, I can go to needs work. And on the needs works, you could see aggressive towards peers, poor behavior, at a special or lunch, and maybe unsafe behavior in whatever setting you are in. So let's say I wanted to say that the student was aggressive towards a peer. So it would make a negative sound, so the students will learn that the negative sounds mean that they're doing something wrong or something that's undesired. The next thing that I could do is I can click on a student and I could say that Sullivan is working really hard in her class. So it's +1 point for working hard, and now gave her 3 points instead of the 2 that she previously had. This is really awesome that you can keep on the Smart Board or Promethean board for your students to kind of catch up and see how they're doing throughout the day as well. Another awesome feature this has is groups. So as you can see, I have 3 groups laid out. Let's say I'll click on the red group, and for this instance I'm using the groups as different table groups of the students. So this whole group, the red group, they completed cleaning up their papers before the timer went off. So I'm going to give them 2 points for that. And I just click on it, and all the students in the red group receive 2 extra points. Something else that this program has is a class story. And a class story is kind of like a news feed for Facebook, where you can write up what you're doing for that day, or even some announcements that you just want parents to see, but might not necessarily be something that's like super pertinent where they have to get it right then and there. So parents can scroll through all of the messages. It could be like, look at these awesome pictures we took while at our field trip, or the one that I wrote pertains to summer and some announcements that will be coming up, and introducing them to the ClassDojo app. The next thing are the messages. The messages are really great because you can use them without giving out your personal information, but if you chose to, you could download the app on like an iPhone or an Android, and they will be sent to your phone, or you could hook it up to your email as well, or just simply log on to the ClassDojo. So I've made a mock message with Abigail's parents. So once you send the request to the parents, they fill out some information like their name and how they'd like to be contacted. So Abigail's parent, who's Richard Payne, messaged me saying that he saw my message but that they're unable to attend the open house. He'd like to volunteer. What can he do? So I got that message and I was able to respond back to him. This is a great tool to use to remind parents about conferences or even their behavior throughout the day. And parents can see you give points or deduct points throughout the day, so it's also a great way for them to email you and say, oh, what was so-and-so doing today? Why did they lose 5 points for unsafe behavior? I'd like to talk to them when they get home. It's a way to kind of keep the classroom going and keeping the parents involved as well. So when you go back to your classes, you can create multiple classes too, but for this I'm just going to create one class. So I hope you enjoy the tour of ClassDojo.